Yeah, but Dustin, I think that rash is pretty red. I think you might need to put some cream on that.
Yeah, it's really burning.
Oh, hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here. How you doing? Well, we are. What is it? It's Friday, February 7th.
I thought it was Thursday, 1929.
No, it's not that. But here we are, and I'm going to be doing some Procreate drawing on my iPad today. So that's going to be fun. Nick Birch came over last weekend, and we spent the whole weekend plus some shooting a whole new course on Procreate and how to work in Procreate. And we're going to be having that coming out on Monday. So we thought it might be kind of fun to work in Procreate today and promote the new course coming out and talk to you guys. And I can show you some of the stuff we've been doing. It's really cool. And we've had a great week. It's been really productive. And I want to show you some of the imagery that we shot for the course. But before that, like I've been doing the last few weeks, I want to promote our upcoming plein air painting course in Sarasota, Florida. Ronnie Williford and myself are going to be there March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th in Sarasota, Florida. We're going to be doing a watercolor plein air painting course. There's 5 spots left. That's it. 5. And
5? That's it?
5.
5.
5. Yes. So if you head on over to creatureartteacher.com/SRQ, you can get all the information on that. It's going to be great. We're going to be going to the Ringley Museum, which the grounds are absolutely beautiful. Giant banyan trees and all kinds of great stuff to paint. Plus the art collection is amazing. We'll be there a couple of days. We're going to be heading over to Selby Gardens, which has some beautiful grounds there, and then over to Lido Key, South Lido Key, where we're going to be doing some beach painting and all kinds of stuff. And there's a couple of other things that we're trying to work out, trying to squeeze in that we hope to surprise you guys with. So if you can join us on March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, it would be awesome. We'd love to have you. It's still cold in the rest of the country, but not in Florida. It's nice and sunny, and it's going to be fantastic. So come and join us then. Also, check out my Patreon channel, station, page, whatever.
Page?
Yeah.
Web line?
You know, anything you can help us out with over there, it's a big, it helps us big time in the sense that it gives us finances to take the time to go and create more content for you guys, and we really appreciate it. So, and as usual, I've got Dustin here. He's manning the controls.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we're in opposite chairs today. He's usually in this chair, and I'm usually in that chair.
Yeah.
And then
the tables have turned.
And Rivers is waving at us on TV. Hey, Rivers.
Hi.
How you doing, Rivers? And then we've got Nick Birch, my business partner. He's in Sarasota, Florida, and he's going to be manning the stuff there and doing questions and all that. But we got a cool setup, so let's go to our down shot, Dustin.
Yep.
Let me see. Let me get that nice and straight. So now you can see. Let me see. Is that set up? Yep. That's not the one I want. I want the regular with the picture-in-picture.
Picture-in-picture.
There we go.
There we go.
So we've got this really great setup to where you can actually see my screen perfectly and Procreate. And so these are some of the images that we created for the class. And they were a lot of fun. This one I took you through the whole process from working in thumbnails and taking those thumbnails and building up a finished image. Took you through the process of doing kind of a comic book style with ink and a watercolor wash underneath, all done in Procreate. I did some animation, very, very basic for beginners. I kept it very simple of a character just kind of walking along. And I took you through the whole process of how to animate in Procreate, which is one of my favorite things about the program. It's the program is so cost effective, it's so cheap, but it's not cheap, but it's cheap from a pocketbook standpoint, but there's so much you can do with it, and I just absolutely love that. I think they've done an amazing job at putting something together that everybody can afford, and I think that's great. And then this is just a tiny little, very simple approach I wanted to show, very someone just coming into Procreate, kind of the process of how to build up layers, and so we did this cute little baby little sketch. So there's a lot of different things that we did in here, and then I've also got this lion that I created. The full render, and we actually used some of my other brushes from Photoshop, and that's one of the other things we do. We show you not just brush creation in Procreate, but also how to import other brushes and then kind of manipulate those. And then we're going to give you some other files too as bonuses. The zebra, which we did last week on live stream, and some of maybe this Black Panther, the Black Leopard. So we got some fun stuff. But anyway, why don't we do a new one today?
Yeah, you can use this for reference.
Hey, there we go. Reference. Is there a way to leave that on?
Yeah, it should stay on.
Oh, okay. Well, Dustin has shot some beautiful bird reference. This is a Savannah sparrow. And so I'm just going to sit here and draw, and we're going to answer questions.
You wanna show it on the down shooter? I can. There we go.
There we go, like that.
Yeah.
So Dustin got this beautiful shot of the Savannah sparrow out at a place called Lake Woodruff Wildlife Refuge. It's a little place near where we live. Where we go out. We just went out this morning.
Yeah.
And we came across some otters, and
yeah, it was very windy.
It was very windy today. But I just thought it might be kind of fun to do. So, whoa, what was that?
Whoa.
I don't know what that was.
Holy cannoli.
Holy cannoli is right. First of all, I want to go to a nice, warm, dark line. And let's find a nice... I want to sketch with my pastel C. I like sketching with that brush. I'm going to drop the size way down.
And if someone's asking, which exact iPad tablet is this?
This is an iPad Pro.
The iPad Pro?
Yeah. So, and I just love it because, this is an Apple Pencil that I'm using. So what's nice, the way we have this set up is that you can see in the big screen what's happening, but also in the little screen in the window, you can actually see my hands and how it works within the realm of everything here. Hey, Kimberly on YouTube says, "Hi, I'm a recent sub, and you are helping me take my art to a new level." Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you. Got a really nice letter from a follower in Italy who has a son that follows us that loves hippos and really kind of came out of his shell when he saw our hippo funk animation. And so I really want to say, if you're watching, because he said that his son goes to bed listening to us on Friday nights, our live streams. And so if you're listening, I don't remember your name off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But if you're listening, you know who I'm talking about. And we really appreciate that letter. You made my day. Nick sent that to me yesterday morning. And I gotta say, I teared up a little bit. It was a really moving letter.
And here, you can plug this into the phone to make sure it stays charged.
Charged.
Hey,
charged.
Hey, charged. Don't forget to charge. It's my Destiny. What was it? The first Destiny. Every time I use my superpower, I would yell out, "Supercharged!"
So I'm just doing a quick little sketch here. Go ahead, Dustin.
Have you tried the new animation tool in Procreate yet?
Yes. Matter of fact, if I show you, this was just a little tiny demo that I did, just showing how you can make a character walk. It was very quick. We did the demo in about 40 minutes. But I wanted something simple that you could follow along with, and I love this tool because you can in between, you can animate straight ahead. It's got great onion skin. Everything about it is really cool. I love being able to just jump. You're like, okay, I want to show you something on another file, and I can just jump over really quick and show you something on another file.
Would you recommend Krita for animation?
I've never used it, so I can't say. So I'm just sketching in this. This is called the Savannah Sparrow, and this is a very common bird out, a songbird out where we go out into the marsh. See that red line coming through? Is that coming through on the screen?
The which line?
I have a, well, it's not there now. It went away.
Oh.
I've got this weird. I took my I took my iPad on a trip to California recently, and we kept it in our bags. And I'm wondering if it got a little bit smushed because every once in a while I get this little red line going through the screen. I'm wondering if I damaged it.
Not that I've noticed yet.
Well, it's not there now. So
Gotcha.
it was there just for a little bit. Now, oh, there it is. Do you see that? Do you see a red line going through
No.
right through the bird? Maybe it's only on my screen and it's not going through on yours.
I don't see it.
Okay, good. There we
Peter
go.
Burnell is asking, how was your Super Bowl free Sunday?
Oh, it was. We imbibed. We had fun. I let's say I had a headache the next day. Put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
I had a headache, eh?
I had a headache the other day. Me and the bud suffering from a hangover the other day. Yeah, just climbed in. Is this an iPad?
This is an iPad, and this is Procreate.
So what you're saying is, it's an iPad.
I am saying, it's an iPad.
Oh, there is a red bar. Somebody did mention there's a red bar, but
Yeah,
for
it's
some
not there
reason I
now.
don't-
It comes and goes.
Yeah, for some reason I haven't spotted it. I guess I just have terrible vision.
It's really fine. It's really thin.
Very thin.
Yeah, but it's gone now. So I'm still just doing the rough sketch here. I've really come to love Procreate and working on my iPad. It's like I'm working in a little sketchbook. The other thing too, I want to talk to you. I want to tell you guys about. I recently from Wacom, I acquired They have a new pen display. Very much an entry level. It's a 13.5-inch pen display. It's called the Wacom One, and I'll be doing an unboxing of it for YouTube in the next week. But I'm also going to do a live stream using it. It's a very cool pen display, and very, very cost effective, cost friendly. It's not quite the same as an iPad in the sense that it still needs to be hooked up to a computer, but if you're looking for a Wacom type pen display, this is a very nice kind of entry level way of getting in. I demoed the 16-inch, and that one's cost effective as well, but this one's even cheaper. There we go. Patrick on YouTube asked, my biggest issue in dealing with animation is speed. What took you 40 minutes would take me a couple of hours. Is this a problem you've had to overcome? Well, I've been animating for 30 years. So that's the issue. Over time, you'll get better. Don't rush it. Just focus on, don't worry about speed. Worry about quality. That's what you want to worry about at this stage.
I was once told by someone criticizing my art that if I wanted to work at Disney after I graduate from college, I'd have to draw at least 8 hours a day to practice. Is it true or necessary? I already draw and practice every day.
Well, it's going to take whatever it takes. You know, if you like drawing 8 hours a day wouldn't matter. If you're going to be at Disney, you'll be drawing 9 or 10 or 12 hours a day. So, in a sense, that is true because that's what you're going to be doing at Disney.
Is there any cheap alternative for for the Wacom Cintiq, like, would you recommend Huon or I don't know if that's.
I've never used anything other than Cintiq or Wacom, as far as when it comes to major pen displays. But if you're talking about something on the go, then I think using an iPad is really great. That's a good option with Procreate. And it seems like that's what most of the kids nowadays are using is
iPads.
iPads, yeah. Which is why I switched over. Sound like an old man. It's what the kids are using nowadays.
Back when I was your age, we had to walk 5 miles in the snow to get to the school.
Uphill. Both ways. I did have to walk 2 miles just to get to the bus stop.
There you go.
And it was dirt road.
During the summer. In 100-degree weather.
So I'm just doing these little sketches.
Procreate is only iOS, right? Like, as in, like, only Apple?
Correct. It's for iPad only.
Damn Apple with their Procreate.
But we have a lot of people that use Procreate. A lot of people that are on
Yeah, for other tablets,
iPads. Man, I got a brain freeze there.
Yeah, for other tablets, there's Adobe has Photoshop as a tablet app, right?
Yeah, they do. But the problem with Photoshop, and I love Photoshop, so don't get me wrong. But the problem with Photoshop, that the advantage that Procreate has is Procreate is a one-time purchase of, and I think it's like $10.
Yeah.
Procreate only costs $10, whereas Photoshop it's a subscription. You have to pay. You can pay $10 for it, but you got to pay every month.
Now the question is
which isn't bad. I mean, I still have Photoshop and I love it.
So if, say, you have Photoshop on your computer and you have it on your Cintiq and all that, on your computer, on your computer, but then you have your tablet that has Photoshop as well, would the account be technically linked, or do you have to buy a completely separate app?
No, it's the same account.
It's the same account.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can do. You can use your subscription. I almost said prescription.
Prescription.
You can use your subscription on multiple computers.
Well, yeah, I know that. I just wasn't sure if it was the same for tablets. I thought it was only like just through computers.
A tablet is a computer.
Well, yeah, but
essentially
the operating systems are different.
One of the things I got to be I'm drawing because it's touch sensitive. I got to be careful how I touch it because then I end up drawing. So now I want to take this little guy. I want to blow him up a little bit. I want him to be the dominant kind of thing in the image. There we go. There we go. Hey, kid. Hey, kid.
Hey, kid. Oh, this is awesome. Hi, guys. I was literally just watching on my... I was just drawing, my mistake, on my gray tone paper using this beautiful reference pic of Dustin's while sitting in the waiting room for my tire to be fixed. And a woman approached me asking about what I was drawing and gave her all the info about lessons from Aaron and more in creatureartteacher.com.
Right on.
She was so excited because her 14-year-old son has art ambitions. Love sharing a world about how great this is.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
And that is awesome. Thank you very much.
So there's our little Savannah Sparrow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and go to opacity and just drag my stylus along until I like the opacity right about there. And I'm going to create a new layer. And then we're just going to tie this down.
Is the Wacom hard on your meat paddles?
No, it's not too bad. For those that don't know, we have a Creature Art Teacher app. Oh, this is from Nick, by the way, and me. For those that don't know, we now have a Creature Art Teacher app in the Apple App Store that has all of our courses and lessons available. Unfortunately, you can only use it on Apple products, iPhone, iPad, that sort of thing. We are going to be coming up with an Android version soon. It's at the App Store, and it has that has all of our courses and lessons available. Yeah, you can download it and sign up, and you'll get several free lessons. Just if you want to find it, just search Aaron Blaise or Creature Art Teacher, and you will find it.
Creature Art Teacher.
Yes, you.
Yes, you.
Have you seen the new Picard?
What?
Have you seen the new Picard?
Oh, I have not yet. Is it good?
Pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good. Do you use the pen tap to switch between pen and eraser, or do you have it turned off?
I have it turned off because I'm always touching it. I like tapping it, and I end up turning on the eraser by accident constantly.
So one day you're just like, all right, that's it. You're turning off.
You're turning up, dearie. Drives me nuts, eh? So drawing a little songbird.
Is it the iPad 11 or 13?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. Hey, Nick, is this iPad 11 or 13? Nick tells me what to buy, and I buy it, and then I use it.
Erica Bay says,
Hey, Erica.
she says, I had to walk a mile in knee-deep snow to get to the bus stop.
Wait a minute. You're in Alabama. I guess Alabama gets snow sometimes, right?
Gabby!
Gabby!
I saw a Disney trailer for a movie yesterday, and it said from the studio that brought you Aladdin, Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast twice. Yeah, I know exactly which trailer that is. I think it's for the good guy. Or it's like it's either the good guy or the good man, or it's the it's like the NPC character of a gaming world, starring Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's a rated G version or like a rated PG version of Deadpool.
Yeah, it's gonna be PG. Faux show.
Faux show. And Gabby's asking, Aaron, what is one thing you still find a tad difficult or out of your comfort zone to draw or paint?
Nothing. Anything mechanical.
Hey Dustin, what's your channel's name? Will subscribe. You can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaise. And that's Dustin_Blaise on Instagram. That's where I've been posting all my pictures and everything.
I'm using the iOS 13. It's the latest model iPad Pro, largest size, just under 13 inches.
On the app, can you watch replay of live streams?
Yes. Oh.
I think what you mean is
well, the live stream replays are on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Or,
But I think what he means is when you're done drawing, does it play back all the motions and the steps that you took?
Oh, you're talking about
Like the instant
oh,
replay.
this, yeah, absolutely. I can do that now. I can show you what we've done so far just on this, and it'll. Yeah, I'll show you. I can stop talking.
At least I think that's what it is.
Yeah, see, it does it now. See, I can show you what we've done so far. There it is. Redrawing it for you. So there you go. There you go. And I just come back
There you go.
and just continue drawing.
Hey Dustin, how's your day? My day is good, doing great, Gabby.
What the hell was that? Ooh, did you hear that? Our whole house just shook. That was crazy.
What was that?
I don't know, but I'll check.
Big bada boom.
I think something happened outside. The whole house just really shook. Like something blew up.
Maybe
A
a
couple
tree
miles
fell.
away or something. We had a huge storm come through last night. High winds. All of a sudden, I mean, we knew it was coming, but it was a big band. And our next door neighbor lost the entire top of their tree next door.
Can you turn off the touch so you don't draw while zooming out, so that you can't draw with your fingers? Just
I'm sure you
with
can.
the
I
Apple
just
Pencil.
haven't done it.
Are the brushes more comfortable drawing in Procreate than Photoshop? Would you say?
I'd say they're the same. But that's the beauty of it. It's the fact that they're the same. And for such an inexpensive piece of software, the brushes are really great. Really robust. And your ability to bring them in to import from Photoshop is awesome. And then, you know, messing with the parameters on them is really awesome as well. It's really easy. That's all. I go over all of that in my course.
And also to kind of go along with that, have you thought of bringing the brushes that you made in Photoshop over to Procreate?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
All of my brushes that I have, you can import into Procreate, and I do have to optimize some of them, but by and large, you know, I brought some of them over, and it took like the faintest amount of tweaking to get them to work. But if you are only using Procreate now, you can go and buy our brushes now. You have the ability to do that, because we had a lot of people asking about that, if they'll work in Procreate. The answer is yes. You can bring them over. I brought my foliage brushes over. They worked pretty well. The fur brushes work. You gotta, like I said, there's a little bit of tweaking here and there, but by and large, they work.
What would you say is your masterpiece? And saying Dustin doesn't count, is artistically speaking.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna say my daughter.
You're such a jerk.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I've ever had a masterpiece. I've had paintings that I liked, but then you move on to the next one, and you don't get. I don't stop. You know, I'm trying to create something new every day.
Imagine Apple comes out with an eye brush.
An
I can see that.
YouTube question. Good evening, Aaron from Leicester, UK. My question is, would you be interested in drawing Spirit from Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron? I would love to see your take on it. I would love to do that at some point, but I don't usually draw fan art. It's just not my thing. I love Spirit. I thought it was great. But I don't usually do a lot of fan art. I like to do more original stuff.
In your Procreate course, how many lessons will there be?
Shoot. I think there's
50.
I think it's like. I know we got about 6 hours. I think it's like 6 or 7 hours worth of content. How many lessons, Nick? Because Nick's the one that's editing it right now. I can't remember how many we did. It was a few, quite a few. We cover animation, we cover brushes, cover layers, how to work in layers, brush creation, animation, the hardware, the software. Go over a lot of stuff. Yeah, look at that, Dustin. You got a little birdie going.
Yay! He's my little birdie.
So I always go through, I do a rough drawing, and then I do something that's a little more tied down. And this is actually, the brush I'm using right now is one of my own custom brushes.
Hey, is it difficult at all to import the brushes on Procreate onto Procreate from Photoshop?
No, that's what I was just saying. And if you're interested in doing that, you know, you can. I show you how to do it in the course that I just created over the weekend, and we're going to have that available on Monday. So if you guys are interested.
Martinberger says, one day, Aaron has to animate a horse walking up a spiral staircase backwards in a live stream. Challenge accepted. Not.
think it was Tom Cito who was talking about that. They were talking about what would be the most difficult thing to animate. Someone said a horse walking down the spiral staircase in perfect perspective.
Yeah.
Look at that, little tiny dinosaurs. That's what songbirds are, little tiny dinosaurs.
Yep. Can we get an elk, mild deer, whitetail drawing for the southwest region of this great country?
Sure. Next time.
Next time. Next time on Creature Art Teacher.
There we go. Our little songbird.
Songbird.
My little chickadee. This isn't a chickadee. This is a Savannah sparrow.
That's a songbird. And I must say, it's water season.
Oh, and check out my brother's. My brother's starting to do some streaming on a regular basis every Wednesday. He goes on at 11 o'clock a.m. Western time, which is what 2 p.m. for us.
2 p.m.
What?
Did you already answer those?
Yeah, I've got all those.
Okay.
Yep.
I just look over and I see a whole list.
Are we still mirroring? Are you still mirroring?
Yeah, we're still good. They are still running. In the near future, is there going to be a course on reptiles? Would love to learn how to draw a chameleon, gecko, and salamander.
Yes, it's going to be one on reptiles. The only ones I'm not going to be covering are geckos, chameleons, and salamanders.
Really?
Salamander's an amphibian.
Come on, man. The one thing that would be really cool to talk about is the Komodo dragon.
Commode?
The commode. The great Komodo dragon.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Alright, so there's our little birdie. Anybody been watching The Outsider on YouTube? Not YouTube. On HBO?
The Outsider.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So there's our little sketch. And I'm using one of my own custom brushes. It's got a nice pencil feel to it. This is the same brush I use when I'm working in Photoshop on my Cintiq as well. The same brush. So now we're going to make a new layer. We're going to take that layer and we're going to bring it down underneath all the other layers. Layers.
Layer upon layer upon layer.
And so weird, man. Alright, so now I'm going to come over here. And let's bring that a little cooler over here.
Have you ever seen the Blue Sky movie Ice Age? Yep.
Which one?
Which one? Let's say the very first one.
Let's see, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've watched up to Ice Age 3. How many Ice Ages are there now?
14. Alright, so
Right.
I'm doing local color right now. So this bird has a light colored plumage on its breast area, on its chest.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi!
I've painted a few times with acrylics now, but despite adding mediums to it to delay the drawing process, it is so hard to work with. How does the fluidity compare to oils?
Well, it depends on what brand you're using in acrylics as well. So I like to use is it Liquitex? Those are my favorite. Is that what it is, Vedanta? Liquitex?
Liquitex.
Yeah, that's my favorite brand. It's pretty fluid, and so I don't have any flow problems. Plus, I keep my palette. I do it on on the stuff where you put it on the sponge and it stays wet. So that way I don't have any problems with my paints drying up on me as I'm working. And yeah, it's just I love that brand. It works great, so I don't have any problems. And you've got to make sure that you build up slowly with acrylic.
Did you ever meet the either of the actresses who voiced young or adult Nala?
No. No, not. I did not. They did the voices, and I came along and just animated after the fact. And I only did young Nala. I didn't do adult Nala.
From Monty Python, what was your favorite Terry Gilliam animation?
Oh, you know what? I've never been a big fan of Terry Gilliam's animation. I know I should be, but I'm not.
Is that the animation of like all the cutouts and everything?
Yeah. It's just not my bag, baby. I love Terry Gilliam. Don't get me wrong. I just not a fan of the animation. So I'm just really laying in local color right now. Hey, Sam asks, do you have any tips on animating hair? Yes, hair. Think about the forces that are blowing through hair. First of all, whether it's wind, or just the regular physics of hair moving in response to a walk or a run or any type of movement. And so you're going to end up with the same type of overlap as anything else. But then also think about hair moving about in shapes, not like single strands. Move big shapes, and then you can break up the strands after that. But that's my biggest piece of advice there, is just thinking about it in that way.
Yeah, it turns out there are 5 Ice Age movies. That's
I'm not surprised.
That's a lot of Ice Ages.
YouTube question. Hi, Aaron Blaise. What are the dimensions of your iPad screen? It's 13, almost 13 inches, something like that.
Give or take.
Give or take.
Give or
It's the biggest one. I can't remember what it is. Nick just said it was 13. I have the memory of a goldfish.
Of a what? And memory of a
Hammer.
goldfish.
What?
Of a goldfish.
Hammer.
Hammer.
So just a reminder too, we in March we're having our they mean pixels on the canvas.
Oh. What's the pixel size?
This is 2,000 by 3,000 pixels on the canvas. And let's see, what's my favorite Florida bird? Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a good question. Because there's a lot that I love. What would be my favorite Florida bird? That are like strictly Florida. Like I love snail kites. I'm trying to think of exclusively Florida that you really only find in Florida. The purple gallinule is a beautiful bird that's pretty rare. You don't see very often. Very iridescent blues and purples. Looks like a moorhen, but much more colorful. I love ospreys, but they're not really exclusively Florida.
No, they're all over. Same thing with bald eagles.
You know, and this isn't, they're not exclusively Florida, but when you see them, it's a sign of summer, which I always love, and that's swallowtail kites.
Mm-hmm.
I love swallowtail kites.
What about sandhill cranes? I know they're around, but
I love sandhill cranes. That's a good point.
I love sandhill cranes, but I also really like anhingas.
Here's a question. Dustin, how did you get that shot of the bird that your dad is drawing?
I shot that with my camera, obviously, but I shot zoomed in at 600 millimeter, and I took the shot, and actually that is half of the photo, and I think you have it zoomed in even further.
Oh yeah, I'm zoomed in.
But originally it was it looks like it was shot portrait, but it was actually shot landscape, but I cropped it down to a portrait size because there was just so much dead space on one end. But yeah, and usually the small birds are really hard to shoot because they love moving around a lot, but every once in a while you'll get one that stays relatively still for a while, and that guy was one of them.
Go a little more tone down a little later. Nick says that scrub jays are only in Florida. That's cool. I love scrub jays too. Scrub jays. There's a place they've kept it secret, but I think it's near Kissimmee Prairie somewhere, or it might be down near Jonathan Dickinson Park. But there's a place where the scrub jays will come right out and just land on your hands. It's really cool.
Detlef says, looking forward so much to the workshop.
Who says that?
Detlef.
Oh, right on. Yeah, remember your portfolio. It was awesome. So I'm just laying in color for this guy. It's coming along. Singing song.
I'm animating dinosaurs singing bare necessities, following your awesome tutorials. How do you go about animating characters moving through a moving shot, like on top of a panning background?
Well, you have to kind of know ahead of time where the panning is going to be, and then try to animate so that you stay within the frame, obviously. But I'm not animating as it's panning ever. The pan comes in camera later, so I don't ever have to worry about animating to the background moving or anything like that. I animate through the background, and then the camera moves. Get this here. There we go.
What do you think about milk call animation?
I think Milk Call was a genius. Got a Milk Call drawing right there. Can you grab that, Dustin?
Oh, the Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah.
I always forget the name.
Yeah, Milk Call. This is an original. This is an original Milk Call drawing from Sleeping Beauty.
You know what I mean?
That I keep on my desk. It's all wrapped in plastic and. Oh, you got it pulled up?
I got it pulled up.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, so this is an original Milk Call drawing right here. Milk Call was my favorite animator of all time. The man could draw. He was mean, and he was a SOB, and he didn't tolerate people that didn't do their best. So he was hard to work with, but he was an amazing draftsman, an amazing animator, and here's one of his drawings. YouTube question, Aaron, have you ever tried drawing any paleo art? I've dabbled in it a little bit, but not enough.
What's paleo art again?
Extinct animals.
Oh, gotcha.
Scrub jays are super protected and endangered. They absolutely are, Nick. Yep. That they are.
How old is Glenn Keane? He's older than you, right?
Oh yeah, I met Glenn when I was 21 and he was 34, so that's a 13-year difference. So he's 65.
Wow. Hey Aaron, since Procreate was updated, I use your Photoshop brushes on it, and it is amazing.
Yeah, they work great. I love it. So here I'm just laying in, once again, still just laying in base color.
Le base color.
Heck.
Hmm?
Said, heck.
Everything all right?
Everything's fine.
Huh?
Oh, so I was saying earlier, check out my brother's live streams and on his YouTube channel, Travis Blaise. It's sketch to animate, right? Sketch to animate.
I think so. Can't remember.
Yeah. Got to drink my Diet Coke.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me if I burp.
Burp.
YouTube question: did you learn to draw and study the human form and anatomy, and if so, did this help you improve your character designs? Absolutely. I took figure drawing class every day when I was in college, and then when I went on to Disney, we still had figure drawing class. So I've been figure drawing for years and years, and that absolutely helps with your character design. It really does. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to my layers. I'm going to create a layer on top, new layer, and then right here I'm going to click on the blend mode, and I am actually going to go to multiply. Right there, set that blend mode to multiply, and we're going to create some shadows. I'm going to go into the blue range, keep it cool, right about here.
By the way, Arturo Garcia says, technically you have done paleo art already because you co-directed Brother Bear, which features woolly mammoths, an extinct creature.
That's true. Extinct creatures.
Extinct creatures. Sure. Shutting up, sure.
It cracks me up when you do that.
Like, hey, how's it going? It's going great. And people are still talking while I'm trying to say something. Alright, I'm going to shut up now, sure.
So I'm just adding little bits of texture.
Texture. Adding some texture, sure. Glenn Keane was born on April 13th, 1954, age 65 years old.
Yeah, see, I told you.
From Philadelphia.
He grew up in Arizona, though.
You're going to make some animation tutorials on Procreate in the future.
We are in the. Obviously, you're a latecomer.
Yeesh.
We actually are the whole reason I'm working in Procreate today is that we're promoting the new course we just finished, and it's coming out Monday. On Procreate, working in Procreate.
And animation is going to be part of it?
Animation, I touch on animation. I'm going to do another course that's more extensive on animation only.
Gotcha.
So what's great about here, what I'm doing, is you can see I can get some nice detail in this bird.
Bird. Hey, Aaron. I just finished the acting for animation course and I love it. Wanted to know what's next for you for your animation courses. Like what's more to teach.
Well, we do have a long-term one that we're working on as we work on Snow Bear. the whole process of creating Snow Bear is being recorded, and at the end of the process, when we release Snow Bear, we will also be releasing a course on how to create your own animated short. So we are going to record the entire process of making this, and then pass that experience on to you guys. But obviously, we can't get it out to you until we finish Snow Bear, which is something I gotta work on. I'm working on some illustrations right now for another project that we've got, and then once that's done, then I'm going on to Snow Bear, and we're gonna work on getting that done.
Well, Gabby just said she's got to go. See ya.
Oh, come on, Gabby, you just got here.
You just got here. She just got here an hour ago, sir.
See ya, Gabby.
Later. See you next time.
Alright, and one thing I want to do is I'm going to come down to my sketch layer, and I'm going to get rid of that. See, I can get rid of the little lines there that I don't need anymore. Let's jump back up to the top layer.
I wonder how do you draw this if the wings were flapping really fast.
You would blur it.
I could imagine what it looked like in cartoon, but real life.
Yeah, you think about the way a camera sees wings like that, and you can blur it. There we go.
I use my same workflow that I use in Photoshop on Procreate.
So do I.
I have noticed that overlay and color dodge do not work the same as in Photoshop has. Has this happened to you?
Yes.
Is it because of the color profile that is different?
I think so. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but color dodge definitely works differently. And so that's one I'm still trying to work out.
Never quite figured out exactly how it's different.
Well, it looks different. It just works, and so I haven't quite figured out how to get it to work
Properly.
the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Can you hear me breathing? YouTube question. I'll either buy a Cintiq 16 or an iPad Pro. Which one should I get? Well, it really depends on your portability issues. A Cintiq 16 needs to have the computer to hook up to.
So like,
iPad Pro doesn't. So you got that. I don't know what to tell you. It depends on what you want.
Depends on what you want or what you need.
What you really, really want. And I'm not sure from a cost standpoint the differences of each. I think the Cintiq 16 is $600. I'm not sure what the iPad is, depending on what model iPad you get.
$2,000. No. More like.
Idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Idiot.
No, the real one is whoever buys the $1,000 stand. God, that drives me nuts.
You just got a message from someone saying that they painted a bird with its wings flapping.
Oh yeah, I see it. From Frank J.
Frank J.
Frank J.
Are you watching, Frank J?
Yeah, you should click on it. If you just tap on that circle there.
Oh yeah, look at that. Cardinal in the bath. I love it. How do I make it go back?
Oh, you just tap on that circle again. There you go.
Dr. Hyena on YouTube asks, do you think you could do a spotted hyena next week or week after if you have any references from Africa? I've got lots of hyena reference from Africa. I've actually been wanting to do a hyena lately. Maybe I will. Maybe I will, Dr. Hyena. Maybe I will.
Actually, just remembered earlier in the week when I went out to Lake Woodruff, there was a bird that I saw fly by, but it was so fast I didn't have time to react. But it was a bird that was like maybe, I don't know, maybe this yay big, and it had red feathers. It was a red. It had a red body.
Yeah, like a cardinal.
Yeah. Do you think that's what it
Yeah,
might
it was
have been?
cardinal. Yep.
Never really seen cardinals around.
Oh, I've got tons of them in my backyard. Do you remember, YouTube question, Dan on YouTube, do you remember that, I got a story for this. Do you remember the first time you made money from drawing? I certainly do.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I do. I was, how old are you in 5th grade or 4th grade?
And
How
old were you?
How old were you in 4th grade? It would be, like 9, 10? I was 9 years old. I was 9 years old. Yeah, I was 9 years old, and I discovered that painting food coloring on pieces of paper, I could make temporary tattoos. And so I went home and spent a whole weekend held up in my room when I was 9, painting like rattlesnakes tattooed with their mouths open and all these little tattoos. And then I went back to school. I had a whole bunch of them, and I sold out. I sold them for 75 cents a piece.
75 cents.
I made like $8. That was a lot of money for me. I was able to go to the movies and do all kinds of stuff. This is in 1977.
Wow.
And yeah, it was 1977. And so it was awesome. So then I went back home, and then I spent, oh my gosh, I don't know how much time drawing more. And then I discovered you could just take regular graphite, soft graphite, and draw, and you could make a temporary tattoo out of that as well. And so those were cheaper. So I sold those for $0.25, and then my color ones with food coloring, I'd sell those for 75 cents, and I sold out again. Except this time, right as I was selling out, our principal got on the announcements and said, "Whoever's making the tattoos and selling them, stop."
It's just those simple words.
Yeah.
Whoever's making the tattoos, stop it.
So that was the end of my business. Yeah, but my first time I ever made money drawing was making little tiny food coloring tattoos and selling them at school to all the boys.
Personally, do you prefer working on your current tablet or the Wacom Cintiq Pro 16?
Oh,
like, do you prefer
I like
the Pro?
the tablet, to be honest with you, because the tablet is so portable. It's just a tablet. My Cintiq, although I love Cintiqs, don't get me wrong, but I have to I've got to have a computer as well to hook up to.
Detlef says, if you guys ever organize a painting trip to Africa, I'm in.
Awesome.
I would love to go to Africa.
There we go. So you can see we're starting to build up. We're getting some nice things happening on here. Let me blow this up for you so you can see all the detail we're getting. We're getting some nice little bits of detail.
1977. Was that the time when you met Walt Disney? Chatting at Steve.
All right, let me put another layer on top, and I'm going to set that one to overlay right there. There it is. And I'm going to get a warm color. Oops, I'm going to get a warm color.
Aaron, do you use a screen protector for your iPad? I've read somewhere down the stylus tips.
I don't.
No protection?
No, not. Shut up.
I was actually being serious. Like, no screen protection.
No screen protection. Shut up.
Shut up. Shutting up, sure.
Shut up, you shutting up. So just adding little bits of detail. I love working with these little songbirds because they their feathers are so delicate. It's fun to get these little details on them.
You ever answer the top two?
No, probably not. YouTube question. Hi, Aaron. Does the animation course teach you how to do timing charts? I think I go over timing charts a little bit in my animation course. Yes. YouTube question. Can we see the reference picture for a moment? It would be fun to have the comparison. All right, there it is. Boom, there it is. There we go.
Very funny.
There's the reference photo.
Yeah. Hold up on the... There we go.
In my pocket.
In the pocket.
In my son's phone. And then there's the one that I'm doing.
And you just made a mark. There you go.
There. So I'm getting there. Getting there.
Getting there eventually. I'm really surprised on how sharp that picture came out, because I can't remember whether if I used autofocus or if that was manual focus with that shot.
I don't know. But this is one of Dustin's photos. But I wanted to do a sketch of one of his photos for a while, so here we are.
In 1964, a friend and I rewrote Edgar Allan Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum, and I did the illustration. Since we only had one copy, we rented the creation for people to read. The cost to read was $1. We even had had a teacher pay us.
Wow. It's good money in 64.
Dustin, say shut up again in Mike's boss Rajah's voice from Monsters Inc. Oh, Raj, was that the Wazowski? Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Shutting up, sir.
Wazowski.
You didn't file your paperwork last night. I do a terrible job with that.
No, you did good.
I'm always watching you, Wazowski. What Disney song identifies you as a person the most? I would say Bare Necessities.
Bare necessities.
The simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and just try.
One of my favorite songs has always been Zippity Doo Dah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Zippity Doo
Doo-dah,
Dah,
zippity yay. My oh my, what a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Zippity doo dah, zippity hey. I always like that old timey sound of bass vocals.
Yeah. So now I'm able to go in and get some of the feather detail.
Heather?
Feather detail.
Heather detail. Love drawing small birds. I was working on a chickadee in graphite an hour ago over lunch.
Oh, chickadee. My little chickadee.
Chickadee!
Well, look at this. Speaking of chickadees.
Chickadee doo
There he is.
Chickadee.
There's a little chickadee. I drew this one week before last. I put a little chickadee on his nose. I'm actually really enjoying this one, Dustin. Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
No, seriously, I'm thanking you.
Seriously, you're welcome. You're always welcome to use my photos.
I hate using other people's photos, but I gotta say, I like yours.
Hey.
I was making marks. YouTube question. Any advice on how to approach learning to draw a subject from various perspectives when you don't have a live subject? You know, that's a tough one. The best way to do it, obviously, is to have a live subject. So if you don't, you're not really going to know the angles in order to draw. So I would recommend maybe, I don't know, Google to get some of the anatomy reference. Understanding that in the inner anatomy really helps.
I would say run a circular lapse around your subject while you're trying to draw them in different angles at the same time.
Makes total sense.
Oh yeah. Be
So
good cardio.
I've jumped back down to my shadow layer, the multiply layer. I'm hitting a little bit of shadow in here.
Hey Aaron, do you have
Hey, how you doing?
Do you have a lesson on digitally painting waves for Photoshop? If not, are you planning on making one for Procreate?
That's one of the first lessons I ever created. I think I do have one in there, painting. I think it's under painting water.
Oh.
And it's painting a wave. It's one of my earliest lessons.
When did you start photography, Dustin? I've kind of meddled with it here and there throughout my life, but I never really pursued it like I am now. But I think I started pursuing it to this level back in March of the previous year, back in 2019.
My pencil just stopped working.
Huh?
My pencil just stopped working.
Uh-oh.
I wonder if it wasn't charged. Oh yeah, my Apple Pencil is 0 charged.
Ooh.
Well,
well,
that's a bummer, sure.
It's a bummer, sure.
I'm gonna leave it charged on here for a minute.
Yeah.
I wonder what I can do with my finger.
Yeah, so I started photography last year in March with the Canon Rebel T6, and just kind of learned as I went with that, and then late last year I got into the Sony cameras, and I'm where I am now.
Yes. So this, I guess I didn't have my pencil plugged in over the weekend. I thought I had it attached. I'm not sure how long it takes for it to charge. Let's see.
I saved some of your photos, Dustin, but I have not painted or drawn any of them yet. But I will tag you and credit you when I do. Perfect.
I'm going to leave this on for a couple minutes. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and answer questions while I let this charge. Sorry about that, folks. I screwed up. Dan asked, did Disney still have a multi-plane camera laying around anywhere when you were there? Was it still in use? Well, first of all, a multi-plane camera is not going to be laying around.
No.
They're the size of a room. They're huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, they still had them, and we still used them. And, I came in right before the computer age. And so they were just experimenting with compositing and that sort of thing. But they still had the multi-plane camera, and and they're awesome. They're really cool. You might want to switch. We can go back and forth from this camera to because I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. It's only going to need about 10 minutes, and then I'll be able to, I think, finish it up.
Yeah, we're back on this.
Hi. Robert asked, "Does the small screen ever hurt your wrist? Also, can you do professional character work on the iPad Pro? I'm thinking of getting one. Yes and no and yes. So no, it doesn't hurt my wrist, and yes, you can do professional work on it. Absolutely, a lot of people do. Lots of people do. So and like I said, the portability of an iPad Pro, especially the new ones they have now, the second generation, and then the Pencil, being able to just magnetically attach and charge that way is fantastic. It's such a great improvement over the old design. It's really, really great. So, yes, I recommend it.
What device would you recommend for beginners?
As far as digital art?
Yes.
I think an iPad, an iPad and Procreate is perfect for beginners. To me, it's the perfect feel for digital art. It's very simple to approach. That's one of the things I love about Procreate and what they've been able to do. They've made it very, very user friendly, and yeah, that's it. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's really great. It's really great.
It's great.
Mike on YouTube says 15 minutes should give you an hour. Oh, okay, good. And I think that's all I need. So we're gonna let it charge for a few minutes here, and we should be good. Do you like Calvin and Hobbes? Oh, I think that's the worst cartoon ever.
Would mine work for you?
I don't think it will.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Is it charged?
Yeah, charged. Do you want to see?
Let me see. Nope.
No go.
Don't work. Sorry.
No.
Thanks. I love Calvin and Hobbes. One of the best cartoons ever. Nick says the new Wacom One is also great for beginners. Yes.
You should be.
It absolutely is. The Wacom One, which are just coming out from a price point, is fantastic. It's $399, and it's the same size, if not a little bit bigger than an iPad Pro. And the only thing is you got to keep it hooked up to a computer. It's a pen display, but it's fantastic. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a demo on it next week, and we might even be doing a giveaway at some point. So keep your eyes open for that.
How do you?
The iPad or the Wacom One is wonderful.
Right. How do you feel about concept art and photo bashing?
Oh, I think it's great. This is in concept art, especially art. When you're on the front line doing art for production, you need to get it done fast. You need to get it done cheap. Because every dollar, every hour equals money, and you need to get it as clearly done as possible. And so many people are like, well, photo bashing is cheating and this and that. I will cheat, steal, do anything I can to get my work done quicker and done more accurately. And if that means photo bashing to get something done quicker and show an image in the way that it needs to be shown, then you darn right I'm going to do it. So yes, photo bashing is an absolute way of getting across ideas, making your art for production purposes as clear as possible. I do it all the time. All the time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw with this now. I think we're good for at least a little while.
All right.
Alrighty, sir. So I'm just throwing in some more feather textures.
Yeah, surprised that the iPad's still being mirrored.
Yeah, no problems on that?
No problems.
Good. Isn't that cool? You can see my hand working, and then you can see it up on the. This method that you see right here. This is how we did our course as well. By the way,
The course.
The course.
We did the course this way the other day. Did I already ask can you get Photoshop on iPad Pro? Because the question was earlier.
Yes,
but
you can do. Yes, you can do Photoshop on iPad. All right, so now I'm going to create a new layer on top. This is going to be just a normal layer. And I'm going to do my details. Little things like the sky reflecting in the top of the beak.
Why do you never wear a glove for the screens? I don't like drawing without mine.
I've never worn one. I've seen people that wear them, and I just never felt the need for one.
Yeah, I've tried doing the whole glove thing before, and it just feels weird.
Yeah, it bugs me.
I mean, I can see the appeal where it doesn't leave any smear marks or anything when you're done. Smear. It doesn't smear as you're drawing, but that's where like just having clean hands come into play. So it says, reminds me of the old overhead projectors from back in the old days. I think quite a few of my classes in schools had that too, those overhead projectors.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they're still around these days.
Yeah, so just getting little details like that beak in there. Get a little bit of sky color reflecting in the...
And your brother just popped up.
Hey, Travis.
He said, hello, brother Aaron. Hello, little nephew. Who are you calling little, uncle?
There, we get a little bit of sky showing up. One thing I don't like, it makes it look like he's looking.
What would you advise beginners with regards to perspective?
Learn it.
Learn it. Simple enough.
I've got a course on my site on learning perspective. I go over 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective. Understanding perspective is extremely important from an artist standpoint. Here I'm doing little details in between the feathers. Sorry, Dustin, go ahead.
Can I? Okay.
Can I talk now?
Can I talk now? Can I speak my words? Any tips to improve the dialogue of my script?
Yeah, dialogue is tough. Listen to the way people really talk. Now, the problem with writing dialogue for a script is that every sequence you have, every scene, has to advance the story to get to the next scene, right? So every bit of dialogue has to serve a purpose. Now, one thing I've always learned is when you're looking at a script and you've got a page of dialogue, is there any way you can take that page and get it down to a paragraph? And then once you get it down to a paragraph, is there any way you can get that paragraph down to a sentence? And if you can get that sentence down, can you get that sentence down to one word? And if you get that sentence down to one word, can you get it across in a look? Those are the types of things that I'd force myself to think about, and it keeps your script really tight.
How do you find the parallax in performance between the Apple Pencil and the iPad Pro compared to the Wacom Cintiq and its stylus?
The iPad is better. It looks like I'm touching it. But that's not to say that it's bad on the Cintiq, because I've just gotten used to it. It's not so bad on the Cintiq that it throws you off. It doesn't bother me at all. Christian on YouTube says, I ended up sending a drawing to RISD after you answered my question last week, and they liked it. They said I have 6 more years and I'll be fine. Thank you for the encouragement. You are welcome. So right now I'm really just going in and throwing in little details here and there.
Here and there.
I'll get another questions up here. YouTube comment: from the looks of your chair, I think you have a cat. You're You're absolutely right. This chair has been destroyed
Oh yeah.
by our cat.
Stupid cat.
We were actually gonna throw this chair out, and I said, no, I need an extra chair in my office, so I'll use it.
Oh.
That's so funny. We were talking about this chair just the other night, last night. I just bought a brand new sofa, a leather sofa, and I spent some bucks on it. And I swear, if that cat decides to claw up that couch, that cat's gonna get some flying lessons. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. I'm not throwing my cat. I'm just making a joke. But maybe I'm not kidding.
What is your typical day routine on a working day, and how many hours do you draw on a day?
My typical routine is I'm usually at my desk by about 9:30 or 10.
And as you're walking down the stairs, you throw the cat across the room?
I throw the cat across the room. No, I don't.
No.
But I'm usually at my desk by 9:30 or 10. I try to get something to eat before I start usually, so that I usually don't break for lunch, so to speak. I usually have like a late breakfast, early lunch. I eat around 10:30 or so. And then I get down to work on whatever project. We have so many different projects, it depends on what project we're working on at the time, and then I get in there and start going. And then I just working through until I'm done. Sometimes I work 5 hours, sometimes I work 3 hours, sometimes I work 9 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. It just depends on where my head is. You know, yesterday I was working on an illustration on these stupid potion bottles that I thought was going to take me minutes to do. I ended up working on them for about 9 hours yesterday, just off and on, because I'd had to run some errands here and there. Then I'd be back at the desk, and I broke for dinner, and then I was back at the desk again, and finally finished them around 9 o'clock, 8:30, something like that. Have you ever had a situation where you've written a story and later found out something similar is already out? Not really, but you got to keep in mind there's always going to be something similar out. There just is, and you just got to be careful that you're not subconsciously copying something that you'd read somewhere else.
An hour later, PETA's at your doorstep.
Yeah.
We're throwing cats across the room.
I was just giving him flying lessons.
You really want to learn how to fly? Here, see? Fly, cat, fly.
I would never do that. That's a sick joke. It's kind of funny. What was your role in the sound design sound effect process of Brother Bear? I think that part of animation is awesome. I was really there just to approve it. So we hired sound designers, and we take them through the movie, and we show them where we need sound design and then we talk about what we're looking for, and then we try to have examples, and then they go away for a while and come up with their sound design, bear sounds, water, whatever it might be, and then we come back, and it's our job to approve it or give notes or whatever the case may be, and then go on from there. And so really my whole role there was in the assigning it and then the approval process. And it's really, these guys are pros. They know what you're looking for. There really was no giving notes. It was more about me going, that's awesome, I didn't think of that, stuff like that.
And from the person that was talking about the dialogue question earlier, I always thought that one of my problems with dialogue is that it is too choppy and overly straightforward. Like, my characters are too lazy to talk.
Well, you got to let your characters talk. Meaning, let your character, whatever character you've written or created, they're going to have their own talk. Dustin talks in a way that only Dustin talks. I talk in a way that only I talk. And so it's finding your character's voice, and it's hard. It really takes you getting to know your character. Did we lose a mirror?
Yes, we did. All right.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. It's coming back. Screen mirroring. Mac Pro. Oh, give me the code.
6481.
6481. Okay.
I'm surprised it lasted that long.
We good?
Yes, 1 second here.
But back to the dialogue. It's really finding your character's voice that's hard to do. But once you do, then it almost writes itself, really.
We're good.
Are we good? Are you good there, Creamasabi?
Yes, you're good. Yes, you're good. Yep.
There we go. So you can see the fun we can have with our little Procreate here. Man, you can hear me.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sure there's at least somebody out there listening going, ew.
They're farting. Do you hear them farting?
Why are they farting like that? Oh, whoops.
Oh, I just saw a great movie.
Oh, what is it?
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, yeah. I still need to watch that.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Christian Bale?
Yep.
Yeah, Christian Bale was fantastic.
That's awesome.
Matt Damon was good too, but Christian Bale was really good. David on YouTube asks, after Snow Bear, do you think you'll ever try Blender and its new upgraded 2D engine? You can animate in 2D mixed with 3D and have XYZ planes like in the Spider-Verse. Sounds complicated. Maybe.
It's been an hour 30 and hasn't even opened a beer yet.
Opened a beer? Dustin doesn't drink beer, he drinks whiskey.
Well, whenever I'm working, it's soda, but whenever it's social, then yeah, whiskey.
We're coming together here. Coming together. Come together.
Did you see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now.
And we love it. Over me, shutting up stairs. You okay?
Yes.
You hanging in there? You shutting up stairs. Oh my. There's a great documentary on Ford versus Ferrari too.
I think I'm on the wrong layer.
Shitting a shoe.
Arg. Oh, I know why. Okay. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Frank J.
Go ahead, talk.
First says that there's a great documentary on Ford versus Ferrari too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The movie is great.
Do you watch anime?
No, I do not. Nick says the cat will destroy your couch. Like Thanos, it's inevitable. I know. I had one of my last houses that I bought. I went through and bought some new furniture. I had this $2,000 white leather sofa that I put in there, and I had 2 cats, and those cats destroyed it in like a month.
Right, and I'm sorry to go back to the anime question. I love watching anime, and I actually
Of course
recently
you do, Dustin.
I recently finished watching a really cool, fun anime series on Netflix called Carol and Tuesday, which is directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, and has really good choices of music.
Signature what, eh?
He's the director of Cowboy Bebop, my favorite anime.
Oh, right on.
So.
Should have known
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance, check out Carol and Tuesday on Netflix. Aaron, even though you don't play video games, did you ever get any of the references in Wreck-It Ralph?
that. Not really. I mean, most of them. I understand video games. I don't live under a rock. But, yeah, I'm just not into them. Yeah, ever since Pong, once Pong was done, I was done.
No, you played GoldenEye.
I did play GoldenEye. I played GoldenEye with the boys. The boys.
I remember another time when you tried. Well, and also another thing, we all played Mario Kart together.
We
on
did.
the 64.
That was fun.
On the Nintendo, you played quite a few games on the Nintendo.
Yeah, when you were a little kid, we
Yeah.
did play quite a bit. Your mother and I and you and your sister. Those are fun times. I remember we'd sit there and we'd go for hours, all of us playing, racing each other.
Oh yeah. But then also during the barbecues that you'd have with your barbecues with your Disney animating buddies, you guys would play 4-player split screen of GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
And every time somebody died, they would have to give their controller up.
Yep.
And that was the way you guys kept the ball rolling with everybody.
All right, I'm almost done with this project. Twitch comment: those potion bottles are so cool. You should do a demo on glass. That's a good idea. I think I will.
There's a good idea right there, I tell you.
YouTube question: did you work on all of the bear scenes in Brother Bear? The scene with Kenai getting pulled down the rushing river looked crazy, difficult to animate. Did you work on that? No, I just directed it. The person that actually animated it was Byron Howard. Byron Howard is a genius animator, and he's gone on to direct. He was co-director of Tangled, and he co-director of Zootopia. Oops, wrong layer again. What's going on? Oh, it's not that. I just have it on the wrong thing. So Byron Howard was the supervising animator of Kenai the bear. Don't like it.
Can you please recommend what tourist package or travel guide that you like? Going to Africa is my dream.
You just gotta look into it because they vary.
Varies on the location.
Yeah, I mean, there's always different packages to be had.
As director, did you have quote unquote absolute power? For example, did you choose Phil Collins for the music, or did the Suits, not bashing Mr. Collins?
The Suits, and Mr. Collins was great, but he had just come off of Tarzan and he won the Oscar. I actually was trying to get Peter Gabriel. And they said, no, you're going to have Mr. Collins. And I went, okay.
That'll work too. Like, how can you say no to Phil?
And Phil was great. We worked together for 4 years. We became friends, and it was a wonderful experience working with Phil. I learned a lot, and nobody works harder than Phil. The guy is incredible.
I still love the story of your sister answering the phone.
Yeah, my sister's a big Phil Collins fan, and I was putting in some wood floors on the weekend at my house, and she was there along with my father, and my father and I were working in the living room pulling up floor paneling, and the phone rang, and I asked my sister to get it, and it was Phil Collins on the other end, and she had a cow. It was pretty funny.
She had a what?
She had a cow.
A cow?
Yeah, she freaked out.
Cats or dogs? Short answer.
Dogs.
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 Eggs.
Although you know me, I love all animals. But gotta say, cats can be little jerks.
Dustin, make Aaron play Dark Souls. He's gonna love it. No, he is not. He is not gonna love that.
Which one?
It's this demon slaying game called Dark Souls.
I don't like those games.
But yeah, Dark Souls is supposedly like one of the harder games out there to play.
Talk about not putting beauty back into the world.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see the reed that I just used one of my texture brushes and you gave it a nice little texture that I like right here. How's the mirroring going? Is it good?
It's good. Still working.
So there we go. Now I think I'm going to try putting something in the background. Right now I kind of like that gray just on its own. But I'm going to try just doing some loose stuff and then blur it out. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to move it underneath everything like so. And I'm just going to very, very loosely just hold on loosely. And I'm going to grab some big brushes. See, the other thing I like about Procreate is that I can get really big with my brushes, but it still won't lag. You know, in Photoshop, if you make your brushes too big, sometimes it'll lag. Here, they don't do that.
Hey, Dustin, other than Cowboy Bebop, awesome, by the way, was there another anime that you liked watching or watched growing up? I was all about Adult Swim growing up, and so not only did I enjoy watching Cowboy Bebop, but I loved watching like Trigun, Outlaw Star, Gundam 8th MS Team, among many. Like, I loved all the Gundam stuff that they were showing on there. 8th MS Team, and 0078. No, what was it? 0083. Anyways, just a lot of Gundam stuff.
What are you talking about?
Shedding a shoe. But yeah, basically anything that Adult Swim showed anime wise was my favorites. And about your cat and dog answer, still holding a grudge against your cat for that charcoal picture?
Oh, no, that was our other cat. Actually, I'm going to put another layer on here. There we go.
Well, but I think that cat knows how to fly now.
No, and it's not her fault. We actually brought her in because we had a bad storm come in, and we had freezing temperatures, and we didn't want her to freeze, but she did not want to come in. She just wanted nothing to do with it. But we brought her in anyway, and so she said, "Okay, if you want to bring me in, here you go." Right on my.
I thought that
my drawing.
I thought that cat pooped up there because it was being attacked by raccoons or something like that out there.
Oh, maybe. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, in that case, that is what it was. That's what happened. She was getting attacked by raccoons, and so we brought her in. She wanted to be out there with the raccoons anyway, and next thing you know, there you go. Yeah.
I don't smell it down here. Oh no. Oh no. Followed by a stepping ladder looking up there. Oh no.
Oh yeah, remember that?
Yeah. Because you're just looking at me and you're just like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I smell, and followed by I smell poop. You smell that? I smell it. You didn't smell it for a good half hour.
I know. I don't know what was wrong with me.
But then it finally kicked in and you were like, "Oh yeah." That was definitely an interesting day.
It was. I'm just going through now and just randomly throwing some color in here. Because we're going to be knocking this back. I just want to see what that's going to look like.
I'm all out of questions here.
And let's see.
Did you already enter that one?
What's that? Oh, Aaron, do you make your own palettes? No, I don't. I really don't. We're going to do a Gaussian blur on this. Oh, oops, right here. Flatten. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, now I can do a Gaussian blur. Look at that. I can just slide my slider. Just slide the slider back there. And I think I'm going to knock the opacity back just a touch. So we're going to go to opacity. We'll bring that down a little bit just so it's not super bright.
Just no super bright.
Super bright. And then I'm going to put a layer over that. I'm going to set it to multiply.
Oh.
And I want to get this bird to pop a little bit better, so I'm going to go in with my airbrush. Yeah, nice soft brush, and we're going to grab a little bit of darkness here. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello. Hello. Alright, let's go into the, we'll go a little gray. Let's try that.
What's your favorite European food? European food.
That's a good question. I love. Let's see, how does that look, Dustin? What do you think of that?
What, the blur? Or the
darkness.
Oh, the dark. I like the little spots here and there.
Yeah, that gives it a nice little feel.
Yeah.
Just getting him to pop.
The pulp.
Man, I love borscht, but that's more Russian, which is kind of European, kind of Asian.
Borscht.
I love borscht.
Isn't that what Esther made a lot?
No, she made goulash.
Goulash, that's it.
And then I'm going to put a layer. Let's put a layer on top. And we'll set that to multiply as well.
I think I like escargot.
Oh, I love that. I always eat snails.
Pizza?
Let me try something else here. I want to try going into my Aaron's brushes, my pastel C.
It's interesting how pizza didn't actually start in Italy. And pizza, if I remember right, was started in America.
Was it? Or China?
I thought it was America.
Maybe it's spaghetti I'm thinking of because of the noodles.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh. Well, I mean, the pizza is still Italian, but the pizza that
No bueno, don't like it.
like they're like pizzas in Italy are like much smaller, more like snacks in comparison
Oh,
to to America where they're like giant
America.
meals. America.
It was definitely invented in Italy.
What?
It was definitely invented.
It was invented in Italy, but the pizza in Italy is different from America pizza.
Yeah. Truth.
What Disney movie do you think they should remake?
Don't know. Let me blow this up a little bit. I'm coming down the finish line here.
Yeah, I think I'm all for
Oh wow! Okay, let me answer this real quick. David asks, "How do you decide on the style of artwork for a movie? Different studios all have different styles, and art direction can impact the tone and feel of a movie. Well, art direction definitely impacts the tone and feel of a movie. It's as much of a part of the creative process as telling the story. And so, it really comes down to the director's vision, the art director's vision, and them coming together and agreeing on it. So that's really what it comes down to. And then getting the executives to buy off on it. YouTube question: do you have any tips for taking notes when it comes to art? I have to keep annotations and notes in my sketchbook for class, and I'm unsure of how to proceed. I used to sit and especially in art history class, I used to do little sketches of the slides and then write notes on the slides. And then I'd get together with my friends, and some of us would take notes, some of us would do the sketches, and we would team up together. So it just really depended upon, what class it was and the people that we had working, doing it. So here's our little songbird. This is our little Savannah Sparrow, sketched loosely. Thank you, Dustin.
You are welcome.
Let me bring this over here and I can sign it. Cheers.
The pizza in Italy is thinner and is different and better. And also pasta and spaghetti noodles are from Asia.
So there we go. And look here, I can go, hey, replay. So there, we can watch this replay while I talk to you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out today and watching us in Procreate. Remember, I've got a whole course on Procreate coming out Monday. Nick is just finishing it up, and it's coming along really well. I'm really excited about it. Actually, we got a question that just came up. Byron on YouTube asks, when you do a secondary light source, do you add shadows from it or just highlights? Thanks. Sometimes it depends on how strong the light is from the primary light source. But yes, you can have double shadows. You can have triple shadows. You can have quadruple shadows, depending on how strong all the lights are. So you definitely can. It just depends. And but check out our Procreate course coming out on Monday at creatureartteacher.com. We might even do a bonus live stream on Monday, just so we can promote it and get you guys aware of it. And we'll do another Procreate drawing like we did today. And this is what's cool about it. You saw that we played back the drawing part of it, and then I just opened I opened up the document again and started drawing, and it just continues to record. So it doesn't matter when you stop or if you add to it, you can always play it back. And it also records the number of strokes.
Yeah.
It records everything. So like I went back and looked up the information on one of my images that I created, and it says, oh, you made that image in 6,647 strokes. It's like,
wow.
What? So it was kind of cool.
Real quickly, am I pronouncing it right? Detlef Tabax, he's wondering, when I'm coming over, what do you want me to bring? Some Belgian chocolates?
Yeah, otherwise you can't be part of the class.
you gotta bring treats from your state or country for all of us to enjoy.
No, you just show up. Bring your paints. Be ready to paint, because that's what we're going to be doing.
Don't forget the chocolates. Hey, shitting it here.
You know what? Now that I'm watching this, I don't know that I like that dark background.
Yeah.
I think I like, now that I've seen it play back, I like, let's see what you think, Dustin. I like,
Oh boy.
that. Just that.
Just
Nice,
blank.
simple. A nice, clean background. Maybe what I'll
We
do.
try a darker background a little bit.
Slightly darker.
Slightly, just a hair. You spy teensy weensy little hair.
How's that?
Yeah, just to make it pop out a little more. What do you think?
Crazy.
What do you think?
It's
Crazy. Huh?
I like it. I think what you just suggested was genius.
I
My
am a
son.
genius.
There you go. I like that. I like that simple background is much better.
Yeah.
Let me get down to my drawing layer and erase some of these extra lines.
They've got to be erased.
Wow.
Come on, erase those lines. To the chopper. Go! Ha! Ha! That's a cute little bird.
There we go. That's better. Much better. Much betterer.
That's better.
Yeah. And I like that you never have to save it. It's always being saved.
Nice.
So there you go. So I had a great time, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll
And
do one more.
I hope you guys have a great week. Let me put this back on so I can charge it.
We'll do one more comparison between them. And the
yeah. So here is our little songbird, our little chickadee songbird.
I'll do the overhead.
There it is.
There we
right
go.
There.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is.
And then there is the drawing. But on this screen right here, it looks washed out. You got to see it on the other one. Oh, that's better. Let me see.
Let's see.
Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, me likey.
Me likey.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks you guys for joining us today. We will be back again next Friday, or actually maybe Monday, promoting our new course on my approach to Procreate for iPad. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember, if you're interested in doing a plein air painting course with us, with Ronnie Williford and myself on March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th in Sarasota, Florida. It's going to be warm. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be tropical. We're going to be painting watercolors outdoors, and probably my favorite time of the year in Florida. So come join us in March. Go to creatureartteacher.com/SRQ, SRQ for more information. We got a bunch of information there. You can get the whole rundown. And also check out our Patreon page and support us if you can. Every little bit helps, and we really appreciate that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the drawing today. I love sketching songbirds. I love sketching wildlife. You know that.
Of course.
And I love doing a little drawing from one of my son's photographs. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So thank you, Dustin.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah,
I'm happy it
yeah.
finally happened.
It's very cool.
Yay.
I love it. And so anyway, this is a Savannah sparrow. So there you go. And Dustin's learning his birds finally. I love it.
Yay, finally.
Yeah. So thanks, you guys. I hope you learned something. You know what? We're artists, and it's our job to make the world a prettier, more beautiful place. So go put some beauty back into the world. Be nice to somebody. Put your grocery cart away, and I will talk to you maybe Monday, but definitely next Friday.
Definitely.
Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed that stream. And if you are interested in seeing any of these other photos that I've taken on my Instagram, you can check those out at Dustin_Blaise on Instagram. So be sure to go check all those out. And we'll possibly see you on Monday. If not, we'll definitely see you on Friday, just like Father said. So until then, Cowboy Bebop. See you guys.
Bye.
Cowboy Bebop.